Right, welcome back to DR Sports, the new series Trash or Truth or Trash, whatever way you want to look at it. Today it's the Chelsea episode. Last week it was Arsenal, and Cecil had to hold the brunt of the Truth or Trash panellists. But today, there's no hiding place, buddy. It's you, Chelsea. So let's get into it. Smash that like button.
Do it with your normal voice, please.
Yeah.
Let's have some chest on this one, yeah?
No, we want
chest on Big Six, but we want a bit of chest on DR for once.
Right. A bit of bass on it, man.
Here's the first statement. Bit of bass and treble. Here's the first statement. Right, listen carefully, so I'm not repeating myself. Right, Chelsea's plan of putting on multiple players on long-term contracts looks like a success. Truth or trash? Sorry, I was just reacting to Pep Linders being sacked by Salzburg. But I'll read it again.
Not always about
it's
man.
Chelsea.
It's the Liverpool
I'll do it again.
all the time.
Do it again. No, that's next week. Yeah. Chelsea's plan of putting multiple players on long-term contracts looks like a success. Is that truth or trash? Looks like a success. No, I'm going to go trash. Yeah.
Kind of like in the
Do you know what it is?
So I'm going to do a Robbie.
Do you know what
Only
it is,
time
right?
will tell.
It's great for the players that you rate, and it's not great for the players you don't rate.
Mudryk, 2039 contract.
Now, you're allowed to get some things wrong. So like Mudryk, maybe Disassi, there'll be a few.
Shows.
How do you sell them will be interesting in terms of, can you break even? Do you have to take a loss? How ruthless are you with that? How does your financials allow you to do that?
How do they contribute to
Now, from a financial standpoint, I've always said it's smart to do it in terms of you're spreading out the costs and you're amortizing the fees over longer periods. And obviously that rule now got completely shut down. So from a financial standpoint, in the short and medium term, it was a very smart thing to do. I'm going to say true because I think there's more players that we rate in this team than there's players that we don't. And I think when you've got Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Palmer, when these players are playing the way they are right now and you've got them on long-term deals, and who knows if a Real Madrid was sniffing around or other big clubs, and you've got all the power as a big club now, you don't have to worry about contract negotiations, all that stuff. I think it's very good.
I'm saying trash because it was only a month ago where people were saying, Enzo's there for another 10 years.
Yeah, but he's playing well.
Okay, so that's what I mean. It can be true and it can be trash, but for me, it's a massive risk and there's no guarantee it will work.
Yeah,
like Robbie said.
I think it's, I say trash because it's too, we're going to have to wait and see, number one. Right, I think that the main reason Chelsea did it at the time was just the spread betting, almost like spreading, because they didn't really have the money to get the amount of players they were getting at the time. And if there's many permutations to it. What if a player loses form? What if a player gets injured and he's injured long term? It may not look like a very good idea.
That could happen if they sign a 5-year deal.
Right. Sorry?
That could happen if
that can happen when you sign a 5-year deal. If you're on a 9-year deal and you get injured, say you got you're out, and then you fall out of favour and that, I don't know. And then you have got examples of players that have done really, really well, so it looks like a great bit of business. But then you've got like some of those other players, like your Badia Shields and these sort of got Mudryk, and where it looks like a bad deal. So
might win you the Conference League though, and then you say that's a good signing.
Yeah. No, you got to do more than win the Conference League to be a good signing. Yeah. I just think when you see like what Rashford makes, when you see what Havertz is making, we don't have players on those wages.
Yeah, but those are one-off players, and there's not loads of players within the team.
But they're just as hard to move.
Yeah,
no
true.
Pay those wages.
We can't move anyone.
I guess in 2039 we'll have the actual answer for it.
I'm down the middle because I see both sides of the argument. I don't think it is completely trash, and I don't think it's completely truth. But I think I understand why you did it, and it was good business. You executed a loophole.
It's not down the middle on the thing.
Bit cheating.
Well, no, but I'm going down the middle. So
we need a truth or trash.
Well, I'll go truth then,
Literally
because
the show.
I think that it's probably more beneficial, and it meant that you could get the names who you wanted through the door.
And now we're saying that they should be in a title race, and from laughing blue £1 billion.
You're always,
now we're saying, look at the squad.
That's true.
Look how good Caicedo is.
Time will
look
tell,
how
though.
good Jackson
You're
is. He was
always
only
going to
30
make
million, but he's on 8 years, whatever.
that will fall short.
Yeah.
Always. At every club, you're going to.
It's funny you say that,
do
Flex, because the next statement is this: Chelsea are title contenders.
Just you trashing it.
Yeah, like for me, December, you can't judge who's title contenders at this stage, and especially with a Chelsea team that is so young and so unpredictable in terms of their defence. If Chelsea were to slip away, which I don't think they will, I'm pretty confident in the time that I said I would have to speak on it, I will, and I think we'll still be in and around. But right now, in December, I've seen my team top of the league at this stage before, and no one talks about us in 5 years' time as title contenders. So for me, it's just people getting a bit giddy, a bit excited. I've seen title-winning teams. I've seen my team in title races, and this team still have things to prove, and the manager agrees. So for me, as long as everybody in-house
course
is
the
still
manager's
calm
gonna
and
agree,
still focusing on the next game and not thinking, we're just going to beat Everton away because we're Chelsea.
But they will do.
We're not at
I
that
think,
stage.
yeah. I think for me, the reason why I'm saying truth is because of I'm actually breaking it down, not historically, in the context of this league and the quality in this league this season. I think from now, which we're basically, let's say we're at Christmas now, which is a good sample size to see who's really dealing with what. Of course, people can fall off like Arsenal did this, but if you look at the quality of the league, I'm looking at Man City and I'm saying, that's not the Man City I anticipated this year. I'm looking at Arsenal, I expected them to be the next best thing. That is not the Arsenal that I expected. When I look at then Liverpool and look at you guys with what you're equipped with as well, and the fact that you go to Europe every time, and rightly so with how much money you spend, you just play a whole different squad. You've got that squad that can focus on Premier League. Okay, FA Cups and Carabao Cup, you can have a bit of a mix.
We're out of the Carabao.
Oh yeah, out of the Carabao. Yeah. So really, you've only got 2 competitions to focus on with your main squad, and even FA Cup when it starts, you probably still you got more than enough. So they're your Premier League team that is stacked. I just think in the context of this Premier League and the quality of this season's Premier League, this Chelsea team has more than enough quality in it to be classed as title contenders, not title favourites,
but contenders.
Title contenders.
And you can say about the defence.
No. Everybody has their own
You can
opinion.
say about have a good enough keeper, and I'm sure it's an area you'll inevitably fix. But you cannot hide the fact that you are in.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, and the thing is right. We're not sitting there and saying you're definitely going to win the title.
No, but you are in the race.
But you are contenders. I mean, and I said when we went and played Chelsea, I was impressed with them. Right now you deserve to be in second place. You've been the second best team so far in the league, and if you're in that position, you're 2 points at the time of doing this video. You're 2 points off.
Could be top
the team that are top. I mean, how can you not be contenders?
We're
not saying.
I do get why the Chelsea fans
listen,
are trying to not, though.
If we were saying this, we're not saying this in September. We're not saying this in October. This is December, near the end of December.
Nearly halfway
you
through.
are definitely contenders, and
Christmas
you know.
When everyone says we'll see.
I can tell you, right, that everybody at Chelsea behind the scenes, right, will be thinking you are contenders.
No, they won't.
Right. They will be. They're not going to be looking and thinking,
Just focus on the next game. Just focus on the next
They
game.
might just be doing the game by game thing.
The
youngest squad in the league, you focus on the next game. You don't want to get
owner of the club,
and that's fine though.
The owner of the club is not going to be saying to Maresca,
He's not saying anything.
All we need from you is top 4. Secretly, they're going to be saying, well, we can win this. We can win this.
You have an eye on it.
Right?
A little eye on it.
So you're a contenders, man. Stop trying to deny it. Stop trying to do this thing with all these Chelsea fans like there's some little poor team. That's
we're rich. I showed up to the best of enemies in my sunglasses and my money gone. We're rich.
They've come from nowhere, and all of a sudden, we didn't know. I mean, stop trying to behave.
There shouldn't be some Chelsea pity party.
They're trying to behave like
you are title contenders.
They're trying to be. If this was Brighton saying this, or a team of
Chelsea.
Bournemouth,
Forest,
or Forest, even, I would understand it. But Chelsea,
it's just because.
Just because Roman Abramovich isn't here, so we're just a bit confused.
It's just because the Chelsea teams in your head, you think of like had great defences, great leaders. And maybe this is where this Chelsea side is different. They haven't got that yet, but they've got so much other quality around it. It's not your typical Roman Abramovich Chelsea side, but this is different. This is your clear lake Chelsea side.
Right. Yeah. Next one. The next statement is this.
Yeehaw.
The next statement.
Win that league.
The next statement is Caicedo has been the best midfielder in the Premier League this season.
Thought we wasn't going to be biased today.
Everyone's got their own opinion, Matisse, as you just said to me.
Yeah, fair.
You clown.
What I can't believe.
He has been, but
Gravenberch has been
the best.
Good.
Gravenberch has been
I'll
better.
back you.
Game by game.
I think when you look at So a few weeks ago, you could have had that. But when you look at Caicedo's chance creation and the amount of opportunities he creates,
he's slotting in at centre back.
So he's actually slotting in at right back, right? Multiple times. He's inverting from right back. He's actually in midfield winning tackles and interceptions. He's then also in our build-up. He's then also progressing the ball. He's then also creating chances as well. And he's scored a few goals this season as well.
How many?
Against Man United, couple.
One.
So, yeah, I think for me, I know you're defensive. I know you're defensive about this. Everybody else, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
happy.
Caicedo's been brilliant. Caicedo's been brilliant.
Go on then, Rob. Has he been the best?
He's been our best player.
No, not your best player, the best.
I think he edges it.
Over Gravenberch.
They've both been brilliant. But I give Caicedo, especially after the fact that last season he's been so heavily criticised, people saying a complete waste of money and
So
stuff like that.
Gravenberch.
I think he's been living up to. He's been living up to it. I think as in that position, he's kind of a more complete holding midfielder than Gravenberch. Gravenberch has been exceptional. He's doing an exceptional job. But this guy, if it came down to it tomorrow, and I had to choose one in my team, I'd have to go Caicedo.
And if there was a cup final tomorrow, who are you picking? I know I can.
That is
can
true.
bank
I'm
on
gonna.
Caicedo.
I might have to
Thank
change.
you.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, but that is because of that question you just asked. If I had to pick one who I would sign tomorrow, I would probably still lean towards Caicedo because of what you just said in terms of the different roles he can play and what he has done for Chelsea.
Gravenberch just played as centre-back.
It's not about Liverpool.
Hold on, I
It's
really like
Caicedo.
Ryan Gravenberch, and that's why I went trash first of all, because I think in terms of this
You
season,
can't change your mind though.
Well, I have.
Well, all right.
Are you God? Are you the
hold that,
authority?
you sausage.
Sorry.
Don't believe in him.
In terms of Ryan Gravenberch, he's come on leaps and bounds, and that's also down to great coaching, especially when it was an area that we all know that Liverpool needed to improve on in the summer in terms of getting a 6. He's done brilliantly. But because you said that, who would I want in my team? I have changed.
Even though you did just have Gravenberch.
Yeah, but I've
a minute
changed.
ago.
Yeah, I've changed.
Right.
Changed my mind.
The last one, Reece James' career at the top is over.
It's really injury.
It's hard when it's injuries.
It's injury dependent.
What's he, 24?
Yeah.
25 at least.
No, he's 24.
You don't want to give up. Like even as a neutral, like I really like him English.
Yeah.
I want him to come out. I just don't want to see our players that happen to English players, or any player. But
And he's so
especially
good.
He's really good.
He's very good.
But do I believe that his body's not going to keep breaking down?
I'd say it will, unfortunately. And I don't want that to happen for him.
I'll go because I've seen players before. I remember Robin van Persie at Arsenal, right? And that guy was literally sick note. Always injured, never, you know what I mean? And then he finally got his fitness together, and then he was brilliant. So hopefully, you know, none of us can say because we're not medical experts, but hopefully it can be the same thing for it can be the same thing for Reece James because he's a brilliant player. I personally think
Kyle
right
Walker's
back
still your guy, isn't it?
I've said this before. As a right back for England, to me, he for me is the best out of all the right backs.
Be fit then.
When he's fit.
Okay.
Because of his all-round game and what he can do defending and going forward. He's got it all. But there's always
For me,
You've got to
with
stay
Reece,
fit, man.
what's key with him is that he can have a position change. Like we saw him in a back three against Newcastle, he was unbelievable.
Less running, yeah.
And so I think when we speak about the top level, he might not be top level right back getting up and down the pitch, but I could see him become a centre back, to be honest.
Yeah, the only problem is I'm going to liken it to Luke Shaw, yeah, because I've seen it at my team with somebody who just gets an injury early on in their career and then it just goes from there. And I've seen him now come in as like a left centre back. Literally, what you're saying is, we're saying we can't allow him to be wing back, and then he just broke down again. And it's like, I don't know. I think with injuries, it's just really hard to predict. Are they going to stop? But I know I've got trash here. That's more out of I hope that for Reece James. But if I'm honest, when I look at the types of injuries he keeps having, I just can't see him staying fit enough for long enough to sustain a top level sample size.
Iron Robben was the same for us. He picked
Do you know what I mean? Even that. And he
goes
went
to
down
Bayern
to be a world-class player. Yeah.
Do you think that if he went to a different league, like he could still play at the top in, I don't know, Italy
He
or...
played for Bayern.
Italy, Germany, Spain.
Yeah.
It's just maybe the intensity of the league he can't do
That could be
anymore.
it. And because it was top level.
Maybe it's not at Chelsea.
Maybe because it was
it's
top
just
level,
not
I
at
said, you know
Chelsea.
what? If he was to go to Serie A, which pains me, but we have Achampong coming through, and to be honest, if he does keep picking up injuries, I want Achampong to get a chance. If he was to go Serie A, slower pace, he would
be
boss it
alright,
there.
yeah.
So top level, just.
I see why you've gone through.
Yeah.
But
Because of the record. I mean, again, for his
Why?
sake,
But
I don't want that for him. But that was the Chelsea episode of Truth or Trash with Flex, Abby, Robbie,
Very honest,
and
guys.
Matisse.
Apart from Matisse.
It's very honest.
Let us know who else you want to see on Truth or Trash, which clubs, which people, and we'll
We've
come
done
back
the Arsenal one,
and do it.
Liverpool one, Chelsea one now, right? Yeah. So.
So shameless. We haven't done Liverpool yet.
But we basically have.
Joking.
Every single show we do is
Spurs,
Arsenal, trash.
AGT, cash. Right, we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.